Miss Sadie may have it wherever the food stuff is set up. See if you can find it where the food stuff is set up. In the interim, I'm going to use this plastic knife, or I can just rip it. Okay, so what I'm going to do with my lovely collard greens here, I'm going to kind of lay them on top of each other. And I'm going to cut them in like ribbons. You like your food to be pretty, right? Pretty food. Especially when you eat this way. And I also make wraps with the collard greens. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, I don't eat wheat, it makes my belly bloated, I'm gluten-free, and all these things. And that's great. Instead of trying to buy a gluten-free wrap that has a bunch of other weird things in it you can't pronounce, just use yourself a collard green leaf. This is perfect for a wrap. You can put some cucumbers and tomato and honey mustard, some vegan lunch meat. This is one Stoufferke. When you buy these things, just read for the sodium content if you have high blood pressure, because they are loaded with salt. I'm not going to front. So I'm going to roll them like this. My knife has disappeared. I think it's with the food that I brought for lunch. I'm feeding the presenters, and I'll also have limited amount of food for sale. So I'm hacking it up here with the butter knife. It's not going to be in pretty little ribbons. If you smell these greens like this, you're like, oh, it smells so fresh. And you want to eat your food alive, as much raw food as you can. Because everybody thinks that when you get older, your stomach just starts sticking out. No, that's not what happens. We eat certain foods that don't break down. And over the course of, when we stop being super active in high school, so by the time you're married and start having kids, what happens is your colon starts to stretch. Because the chicken and the potatoes and the bread, it was bad food combined to begin with. You didn't have enough roughage to break it down. And it just sat there, and all the cookies and the cakes, the pies that we ate, and they just started stretching out. And if you have a colonic, some of that stuff will come out. But it's not going to all come out. It's impacted in your colon. And you have to eat tons of roughage like this to get it to go down. It's just like a clogged pipe in your bathroom. Your intestines and everything get clogged up. So you want to make sure that you're eating a lot of roughage, especially if you consume animal products. You want to make sure you're eating a lot of roughage with it, as opposed to starch with it, to help break it down. Make sure you take out these big veins, because those aren't, they're very fibrous to chew, and since, it's hard for us to, we can't really break down cellulose like that, like tree branches. Miss Sadie, what's the knife? Miss Sadie? The knife? Okay. I'm doing this, but this ain't gonna cut the pineapple. Is it hard to believe that collard greens have more calcium than milk? Is it hard to believe? Mm-hmm. I know, but it does. We've been brainwashed about milk. Perfect, thank you. Better than that. Hi, for those of you just joining us, my name is Camille, and I'm from Kale Cafe, and I'm making a spin-off of collard greens, a southern favorite. I'm making a collard green salad. And if you eat collard greens raw, who's had raw collard greens?
Never.
Y'all are all raw collard green virgins. Okay, so you're gonna break that virginity today, and you're gonna have this, taste of this. But what I do, it's spicy. Raw collard greens are spicy on their own. And if I give this to you like with no seasoning on it, you are not gonna be happy. It's not gonna taste that delicious. But I'm about to hook it up. All right, okay. So here we go, some chopped collard greens. Now I have this lovely pineapple. When is the pineapple ripe? When you can smell it, and it smells good like this, and it's yellow. A green pineapple, when like vegetables and stuff, some things that they're like really green, they're really starchy. Bananas, you want to eat them when they're speckled. plant this, if someone wants to take it and plant it, you know it takes about 2 years for one pineapple to grow. So don't try to plant it and want immediate gratification. It's going to take a minute. When you're cutting a fresh pineapple, you're like cutting it from the outside down. Kind of away from you and down. You don't want to waste a lot of pineapple. Again, the pineapple's in the can. You got to watch for added sugar. You don't realize how much added crap they put in and things that you buy that's not fresh. And when you have a big family like I do, I'm expecting my 5th child. You know, you don't waste food like this. I mean, you buy one pineapple, you cut it, and it's done. You don't worry about buying a bunch of produce and it's spoiling on you. And if you're single and you want to eat fresh food at the farmer's market, you wash it, you bag it up, and you make your own frozen food. Because it has more nutritious value the fresher you get. All right, that middle part of the pineapple, we're not going to eat that part. I'm just cutting it into strips here. You should smell this, it's so yummy. And just to get you more hungry, some of the stuff that we make at my store, we focus on Caribbean food, which of course is African food. So we do like jerk, mushrooms, we do brown stew, tofu instead of brown stew chicken. We do rice and peas, so we use brown rice and peas. I use coconut milk, it's organic, doesn't have sodium metabosulfite and guar gum and all the chemicals and yucky stuff they put in food that we don't know what it does until everybody ends up with cancer. You don't have to I saw this in a movie that I worked on. The person said, you grow up, you graduate, you go to college, you have children, you get cancer and then you die. Cancer is not a rite of passage, okay? Cancer is not something that we have to get. We are in control of our health. So you have to do preventative care. And it starts with what you eat, getting rest, and exercise. We live a very sedentary lifestyle. We can't eat like we're picking cotton or chasing and hunting and gathering animals and stuff, and we're sitting at a desk all day. If we're still eating that way, we're not burning the calories. And that food was a lot fresher, and it didn't have all the chemicals. So that's the difference. All right, so the pineapple is going to make this yummy and sweet. Because I told you the collard greens are spicy. And then I'm going to put some olive oil on it. When you're buying olive oil, you want to get a cold pressed olive oil. You don't want to get like an olive oil blend with vegetable or canola oil and think that you're getting something healthy because it costs $5 for a gallon of an olive oil blend, which was in fine print. And then the big thing of first cold pressed olive oil, that one was $15 or $16. You didn't want to spend that much, but the one that you got for a deal, it was a deal for a reason. It's because it's not pure olive oil. So it's not a good fat, if there is such things as fat. There is good fats, coconuts, avocados. But I do have customers that have such high cholesterol that they cannot eat avocados, they can't eat nuts, they can't eat olive oil, coconut oil. They can't eat any fat because and they look skinny. Some of them look skinny and have high cholesterol. Because I don't know what they're doing. I guess they're eating like lots of hamburgers or, I have no idea. Excuse me, my phone, I'm not going to stop and get it. You can get it. All my kids are vegetarians. They mostly eat vegan food. The only thing I let them eat on occasion is a little cheese. But again, I buy them hormone-free cheese. And that's just so they can be social. I let them eat a little pizza, but they don't have to eat it. They mostly don't get to eat cheese. Okay, tomato. Please look for GMO ingredients when you grocery shop. Organic things start with a 9, conventional with a 4. If it starts with a 3 or any other number, it's genetically modified. And what does genetically modified mean? It means that they have put something on it to let it resist certain crops, like certain bugs that would normally eat those crops, and they're trying to make it resilient against nature. And with that, you're ingesting the chemicals that they did that keep away the bugs. Because if it keeps away the bugs, and the bugs don't want to eat it, which they naturally do, think about what it's doing to your body. And you're getting that residue build up too. And it's just not, like I said, it doesn't happen overnight. It's all of the bad stuff that we put on our skin, and in our skin, and in our mouths, over the years, built up. That's what's causing the problem. And then some of you may eat really healthy, and then you use nail polish remover, and get these nails and perms, and all these things, and you also have to realize your skin is your largest organ. So what's happening is all of those chemicals, I had a Jerry curl too. I mean, I had like a wave nouveau or something when I was like 10. That was like the last time I had a chemical in my hair. I'm 36 now. But it's just like, all of those chemicals build up in your body. And eventually, they start messing with your cells and weird things happen. I could have cut the mango differently than I cut it to show you a cooler way, but I'm just dicing it.
Oh, Mommy, like when you put it in squares?
Yes. There's a cool way to cut it in squares while you keep the skin on it, and then you scoop it out. But I forgot. Man, when I was in Africa, they had the best mangoes and the best pineapples. They were so little and cute. How many people eat pineapples and they burn your tongue? Yeah, that happens to me sometimes. You want to make sure the pineapple is ripe, like I said, and you just want to try to make sure you're eating non-chemical-y stuff. Okay, so we got some mango here. We got mango, we got pineapple, and now I'm going to hook up some cinnamon in here. How much cinnamon? That's about 1.5 teaspoons. How many people cook with recipes? How many people cook by eye? Everything in my restaurant is cooked by eye. Everything. Okay, ready? Apple cider vinegar, organic, unfiltered apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar is really good if you have like worms. You can drink some in the morning. Everybody has worms. Parasites, you know, like they're good for parasites. You can drink some apple cider vinegar. Again, we're saying preventative care. Garlic is another great kitchen remedy that you can eat a clove a day. Great immune booster. Cheap compared to a hospital bill, right? Garlic, a clove of garlic, buy one for 1 week. This is about a 1/4 cup of vinegar. I'm going to put a little bit of agave to sweeten it, a drizzle. I'm going to put some, about a 1/4 cup of first cold pressed olive oil. Anybody allergic to nuts? Okay, so I'm going to put some walnuts on top. And I don't have any salt, but sea salt would have been good. This is some Bragg's liquid aminos, which is a healthy alternative to soy sauce. And it has essential amino acids. You don't have to worry about it having MSG in it, or corn syrup, or stuff. So I put a squirt of that. And now, gosh, is anybody timing me? Oh, it takes so long to make healthy food. Oh, this is finished. I'm just tossing it now. No greasy pans to wash. Now, what's going to happen with the collard greens are the leaves are going to get nice and supple. And the vinegar is going to break them down almost like it's cooking them. From what I understand, don't you put vinegar in regular collard greens anyway when you cook it? I believe people do that. But so I'm squeezing it as I'm doing this, and I'm making the salad dressing for it. You may want to wear gloves at your house too, because if you are like me, you have millions of little cuts on your fingers, you don't know where they came from, and when you're like doing stuff with lemons, it'll burn you, or vinegar, it'll burn your fingers, so, or maybe you don't want to ruin your nails, like my mama. Either way.